Hey video viewer, let's go to Africa. Well, not the real Toto song kind of Africa, but the Africa section at the beautiful Columbus Zoo in Ohio, USA. But this really does look like Africa. This little giraffe here seems stunned by my video camera. And these adult giraffe are taking a nice stroll. Whoa! Not nice, Mr. Wildebeest. Wildebeest, the jerks of the savannah. This creature with the flowing locks is a warthog. Warthogs go down on their front knees or elbows to eat grass and roots. You would think evolution would have done them a favor and made their legs really short. But I guess you still need those long legs when you want to outrun lions and leopards that are trying to eat you. Africa is big, so we might want to take this plane to fly to other parts of it. Uh-oh. Seeing how lions can rest up to 20 hours a day, we might be here for a while. So let's set off on foot. Here we have a female ostrich. A female like this can be 6 feet tall. And look at those eyelashes. You go, girl. Are you homesick yet? Well, let's get back to America. You have a chance to see a moose in about 19 of the 50 states in the USA. Your best chances will be states like Alaska and Maine. Or today, at the zoo in the shade is your best bet. About 15 states have breeding populations of mountain lions, or pumas, or catamounts, or panthers, well, you get it. Other states are now seeing the occasional roaming young male cougar looking for territory. Years ago, we even had one roaming the streets of Chicago. Sadly, that's just an indication that there isn't the same amount of habitat that there once was for wildlife in America. That's why you want to support wildlife conservation and also support AZA accredited zoos, like the Columbus Zoo. Zoos like the Columbus Zoo help fund many important conservation projects out there. In AZA zoos, the cougars that you'll see are rescued orphans from the wild. Let's look for the wolverine, one of America's, along with Canada's and Russia's, most interesting mammal. It's very hot out today, so I don't blame it for sleeping in the shade. Now let's go to the farm. I think modern society, especially kids living in big cities, are so detached on where food comes from. Well, here we have some goats. Besides being a permanent fixture in many petting zoos, we tend to forget that goat is the 4th most common meat consumed in the world. But not these goats. Don't worry guys, I'm just stating some facts. Chicken is the 2nd, behind pork. There are more than 1,600 chicken breeds of domestic chicken. I was lucky enough to see one of the wild species of chicken when I was in India. It's called the red jungle fowl. Back to the animals of America. In here is supposed to be a black bear, but I don't see one. And that's okay. You always want zoo animals to have the chance to hide from us public. But if it's bears you want to see, then let's check out the polar frontier. Zoos have a hard task of entertaining and educating at the same time. No one wants to go out for the day to be depressed, but climate change is something we need to take seriously. It's based on facts, and we simply need facts to start becoming more prominent in society. The general takeaway message is that we can all do little things to make our footprint smaller on the planet that we share with all these amazing animals. Polar bears will appreciate it. Columbus Zoo is one of the best polar bear viewing areas I've ever seen. And all we need is a bear. And this one's out here braving the heat to enjoy a nice bone. Their fur is actually clear, it just appears white as the light bounces off of their black skin. Speaking about brown fur, which we weren't, this is a brown bear. All grizzly bears are brown bears, but not all brown bears are grizzly bears. This one's having a nice look-see at all the zoo visitors today. Across the way is an Arctic fox, which has some beautiful bright white fur. This one's resting, so we'll leave it alone and follow those bears. I always tell people, take your time when you walk around a zoo, as the animals may change what they're doing in just a minute or two. We saw the bear just sitting there, and now we get to see them doing something else, like enjoying the water. I wish I could get in there with it, but you always want to give bears lots of room, as you will never be able to outrun them. Speaking of running, here you have the fastest land animal, the cheetah. It's nice to see them resting in their habitat. Some zoos will walk them around on a leash for promotions, which I'm not personally a fan of. Since the pet trade is one of the reasons we're losing cheetahs, you have to be very careful on how you promote them. Speaking of cats, did you know that there are many more species of smaller wild cats than the iconic larger cats we all know? Like this one, this is the Pallas cat. You can find them in places like Mongolia and in small pockets throughout Central Asia. They are extremely fluffy and a little bigger than your house cat. Let's stay here in Asia. Look at this cool entrance. I want to design my front door to look like this. Here we have the largest land animal in Asia, the Asian elephant. And they have a cool sign if you want to learn their individual names. These ones are enjoying eating inside their cooler indoor habitat. And this is an Indian or one-horned rhino. Those skin folds make them look like something right out of Jurassic Park. This is also an animal that I've been lucky enough to see in my travels to India. Let's check out the large bats called the flying fox. Even though bats seem to creep people out, they really serve an important purpose in the ecosystem as they control the insect populations. Now, these larger flying foxes will occasionally eat insects, but they consume a lot of fruit. Now, if you're looking for a large insect eater, look no further than the sloth bear. They'll eat termites all day and night. They don't have any front teeth and their mouth is vacuum shaped, which is perfect for slurping up insects. Those long claws can dig out any kind of insects they want. Sloth bears are found in India, so they also need those long claws to help fight off tigers, of which they overlap territory with. Sloth bears are one of the 8 species of wild bears living today. Up high in a tree, those are red pandas, and they're not a species of bear, but they're cute. We must do all that we can to try to keep these animals on the planet for as long as possible, because extinction is forever. No one will ever see a Bali tiger, a Javan tiger, a Caspian tiger, and sadly, in the wild, you won't see a South China tiger, as we've waited too long to protect these great animals. We're also on the verge of losing the Malayan and the Sumatran tiger if we don't act fast enough. Information on how to help these animals will be in this video's description. Now, one tiger whose numbers seem to always be around 500 left in the wild is the Amur tiger. The tiger is my favorite animal in the world. And this one is sleeping, but you gotta be patient when you walk around the zoo, especially a zoo as big as the Columbus Zoo. As if you hang out just long enough, you can get some action shots when they finally pick their head up. Look at that. At the zoo's marketplace, our purchases will go towards helping the animals. So let's buy some stuff and then go out and see more parts of the zoo in part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching.